name is Lexi.
I fucking hate
today
you so much.
we are playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends.
Yeah, I'm out.
I
See you next week.
hate you so much.
On our left is Dan. He hangs around the stream sometimes. You might find him here or there. He's a good guy. I like him.
I'm just gonna hang on. I'm just gonna mute him real quick. Just.
Are we
He
even
loves me,
live?
really, everyone. He
Yeah.
loves me, really.
Yeah, I am. Now he can't be heard by anybody. That's cool.
Wait, I can still hear him. How is this fair?
I know, but the stream
Yeah.
can't, so therefore it's fine.
No. No. Why do those lucky bastards get to not hear him and I have to?
I'm just stuck with him.
Yeah.
How is this fair?
My God, that is a bushy beard. I'm just seeing myself for the first time. Listening to all that
Dan's
is-
intro is just going nowhere. Right
That
now.
is some bush right there. Some 70s bush.
Welcome to the people of YouTube who are now be
Show
watching
my
this for the
push.
next few
Unfortunately,
minutes.
he'll probably get demonetized.
Bush.
Let's just move on, shall we? Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome on YouTube.
Hi.
To episode 7. I realise I've messed up massively with last week's episode by calling it another episode 6, but so we've had 2 episode 6s now in the series. this is now episode
6A.
It was 6-ish, and then it was episode 6. Now it's episode 7.
It's also episode 8-ish, 9-ish.
Episode
8-ish.
7. A Lost Friend is the title of this stream.
There's only 2 people watching, and one of them's
Friend?
me. I don't think we need to worry too much about the intro.
There was also the okay, yeah, whatever, fine, and move on. Scott, what happened last? Scott, what happened last week?
We left off last week after a bit of a dramatic moment where Naruvek, your Goliath companion, who was in a bit of a fug after being maimed by your enemy, seemed to find someone that he had an ability to speak to, a stone giant that was roaming the streets of John Joe's Ruby. After making a very short excuse, they left together to talk a little bit more about how you could help this giant. And you guys continued on to go shopping. You went to see your little halfling mate Dirren, who tried to say some stuff, for a couple of minutes. And eventually kicked you out again because, it's his house.
Get the fuck out.
When you went to rendezvous with Naruvek and his giant friend, there was no sign of anything. They were gone. There was blood on the floor, and Naruvek's axe abandoned in the tavern. You did a bit of sniffing around, you chased him out into the streets, tried to find what was going on, found some blast marks and a magical aura, but you're stumped. And that was where we left you at the end of last session. So as we rejoin you, you're on the dock sides of John Joe's Ruby. Sun's beating down on you, the seagulls are squealing overhead, and there's the usual bustling sights of a city full of rogues and pirates going about their business as the party is gathered on the dockside, and that's where you are.
Okay.
Cool.
Lexius has been slightly upset with what's happened. We can't find his friend, and he's not been thinking straight at all. But he does have. He realizes that he's been doing things wrong, and what he's going to say is, everyone, we need to stop right now. We've been doing things wrong. We've been going places where we don't know anyone, don't know anything. We're asking the wrong questions. We're talking to the wrong people. We need to find someone that can help us with this magic. The 2 sorcerers that we have here, we can't do it. We don't know what's happening, but we need to find someone who can help us. I have. Yes.
You mean the wizards that we're literally on our way to go see right now?
Yes, but again, we don't know who we need to talk to. We're just going to be blindly rolling in and asking anyone. I can get a name, information, someone. I can find out. I have contacts that I can use that could help us. I don't want to go on my own because we know what happened last time. If you come with me, it shouldn't take long. I can get some information. Will you trust me?
Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. But if this turns out to be ambush and we all die, the last thing I would do is split your skull.
Wow. Okay, it's good to know that I have really good friends here. Okay, I'm already learning things. Okay. I am going to go to the wary route.
Okay. So turning away from the dock, you leave the bustle behind you and you make your way through the streets, which, to Lex, it's a familiar route, one that you've trodden a couple of times with Narevek at your shoulder, but to the rest of the party, you're heading off the beaten track and further into the Mercantile District, where you approach a street which is not exactly bustling. It's quite quiet. It's shaded over with like sheets and tarpaulins that are strung from the front of the buildings, allowing a cooler air to kind of settle. And as you make your way down, there's there's two figures that are standing with their backs to a window. And Lex, as you approach, you realise that this is the Weary Route. You realise that the two people outside are not people that you recognise at all. Both of them carry large scimitars at their waist. One of them is quite comfortably chewing away on some tobacco, occasionally spitting it into the dust, and the other one is picking at his nails with a long curved dagger. Behind them, the familiar shop front that you've visited a couple of times before appears to be burnt out. It's blackened with soot. The facade of the building shows marks of burning and fire damage. And there's no movement that you can see on the street. It's deserted apart from these two that are standing outside the store.
We're gonna keep walking as if we're just walking past, but as I'm walking past looking at this, I'll just look and then go, what the hell happened here, lads?
One of the one that's spitting, chewing the tobacco, takes another big into the dust. He's a human male, dark skinned, with no hair on his head at all. And he stretches and goes, "Burnt out, mate."
Burnt out? This is not the time for this town, is it? First the attack, now this. No business is safe.
It's been a bad week.
Wow, this is shocking. Do we know if anyone got hurt?
He looks to his companion and looks back to you. 1 second. Where's the dice rolling? Where is it? Roll. No. 18. His eyes shift from you to his companion and back to Lex again. And Scott looks into his notes because he's on the wrong page.
While we're taking a quick break, True Storm was a +2 Great Axe on top of its other effects, wasn't it? Just so that I've got it in my inventory right, so I can give it back.
If you have a look if you search on D&D Beyond for Thunder Axe,
Okay.
Perfect Storm, the Thunder Axe, it's got an item card that I made for it.
Cool, I'll just add the whole thing. So I can keep it safe.
1 second.
Thank you.
You will.
You're a big boy. You'll be able to do it.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
I cannot.
Okay, so the guard at the side flicks his eyes over to Lex. He holds up his left hand and he slaps the back of his hand and says, "Roll your sleeves up for me."
That's interesting. Why would I do that?
Is that what Lex says or what you say?
That's what Lex says.
Lex says, you ain't got to do nothing, friend. Show me the back of your hand.
Sure.
Okay. He keeps nodding as you roll your sleeve back a little bit further up your arm. Have you got anything covering your arm and forearm at all under the sleeve, or?
Nope.
Okay. He pauses for a second and looks over the rest. There with you?
Do you want to do it here?
Answer the question, buddy. There with you?
No.
Okay. Leave him on the street. He pushes the charred door open, pushes open, and nods for you to go inside.
I'll go in.
Okay. So you crunch over the threshold of the doorway, and the floorboards underneath are charred black. They crunch underfoot. Inside the store is literally nothing. It's exactly as it was before. It's a bare storefront with a bare countertop. Only where the cloth used to hang that led to the rear room before, there's now nothing, just an empty, yawning doorway. And you hear a voice cough a couple of times quietly and say, I haven't got all day. And you recognise the voice as, it's familiar to you as Hamid Reedfellow.
Bear with me.
As,
Yeah.
as you know him more professionally, as you know him as Impure Titan.
Fuck. What happened? And I'll just run up to him.
Okay. So you open the door through, and there's a short, not as fat as you would expect, a short halfling who's standing in the ruin of the shop. He's wearing a small triangular hat that droops over the front of his head, with an eye patch that covers on the left-hand eyeball. He's wearing quite a long-sleeved, bloused white shirt, and smart green trousers that end at the ankle. He turns around as you enter and says, that's really the question that I've come to ask you. In the last few days, we've had 2 communications from you from this same location, and it's burnt out. Who did you come here with?
Naravak. He's in my
Who's-
employ.
Who's outside?
My party.
He rubs his hands over his eyes with a heavy sigh. He says, you may not be familiar with the workings of a secret organisation. It's not traditional to bring outsiders with you to our places of work.
I wasn't going to bring them in.
No, you're right. The front door is by far the best cover for our security.
I had no choice. I need help. He's missing. He was in my employ. He's my friend, Naravak. This happened. But to him, he's gone. As far as I understand, teleported. I don't know if this is damage. This could be the same that happened to him. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know if it's related to the stones.
Okay.
I need
What?
a name. I need someone that can help us, someone who can decipher this magic, someone who can find the answers, someone that we can trust. I don't have time to break them in. I don't have time to make them trust me. Some of these don't even trust me.
He rubs his hand over his chin. What help? You're asking for help with this. This is why you're here. You're here to find. Have you stirred this up?
I might have. But I'm not sure.
He reaches into a small satchel at his side, produces a handful of papers, and he looks at it. And you can recognise immediately these are the notes that you sent. from this very location over the last few days. It takes a second to read through. Under the circumstances, I will allow you your questions. There's more happening here than just your search for an artifact. What do you want to know?
I need to know who else is after the stones. Do you have any information on the one that we met?
He shakes his head and says, there's always those that are looking for the stones. There always have been. Your family's not the only family with interest in these things.
But the lizardman and what they say about him and what he can do, what he did.
He shrugs his burly little shoulder, says, I've never found any reference to a fellow of the name Gerard Brandon. The name means nothing to any of us.
Understood.
As for lizard folk, they don't do this. They stay on their islands. They're whipped dogs. Ever since they began living on these islands, that they don't cause trouble. They stay there. The occasional raid, maybe the odd sailor gets dragged overboard, but this isn't their behaviour.
This is definitely a strong contender. And I don't know if he actually has any stones. I don't know if he's found the one from this town. And that was our next step. We were going to look, but one of our own has been taken. And there was a hill giant. Was it a hill giant? A giant?
Stone giant.
Who?
Stone
Stone
giant.
giant.
Stone giant. There was a stone giant in this city, which I'm beginning to understand is something extremely odd. To the point that so far everyone we spoke to does not believe us, even though it was right there in the middle of the street.
He gives another heavy sigh, and his brow furrows deeply. He whips his hat off, scrubs a meaty hand through his tousled little mop of brown hair. It doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense.
I don't understand either. Do you have any contacts left in here? Do we know of anyone who can help us?
It's not a contact, but there's very. I mean, you can imagine this is a pirate city. There is very little in the way of trained, professional magic users. If you want throats cut or purses stolen, this is the place to be. There's one magic user of any worth that resides here. He's contracted to the Baron. He helps him with whatever the city needs in exchange for privacy.
Can he
And
be
therein
trusted?
lies your big. There, who can trust a wizard? If he decides he wants to help you, he'll help you. If he decides he wants to teleport you to the outer planes, then I'll never see you again. But the key word is that he contracts to the Baron of this city in exchange for privacy. I can't promise you how he's going to respond to you knocking on his door. Oh, shit, that's a camera.
Hi.
Honest that question.
High drama.
Can I have the name and the location, please?
The Archmage Zuzula.
How do I spell that?
Zuzulla.
Sea wizards.
She's an odd character. I realise I may even have referred to Zuzula as he a few times. I am not very good at multitasking, but Zuzula is an odd character. Just keep a respectful tone in your voice. I can't promise you anything, but
So wait, is it a he or a she?
it's a she.
Okay, good.
Does it matter? God, it's 2022. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, in a conversation it does.
Did you just assume her gender?
Exactly. I don't want to assume.
Disgusting.
Now I'm very confused because a he, she, he.
Yeah, it was my fault. When you see the artwork, you'll see why I can't figure out what the fuck we're
Nice.
talking about.
I'm sorry for all of this. I hope you know I didn't mean for this to happen, but it is complicated. I
Well,
don't
for
understand it.
good
And I
intentions
didn't
and two
expect this.
good intentions and 2 copper can buy you a flagon of ale.
Mm,
Resolve this issue. I don't want to be in the field again.
understood.
The best thing you've done today is coming to me has saved me coming to you.
Understood.
Last chance to ask before you leave. What else do you want to know? After we have this conversation, I doubt you'll see me again in person.
Ever?
He doesn't answer.
Can't think of anything else.
He kind of flicks his hand flippantly away and says, "Then away with you. Be about your business.
Thank you.
Contact me with answers."
I'll find them. I'll find the answers. And I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. See, the rest
And
of you have been kind of kicking your heels in the street under the guise of these 2 surly-looking gentlemen by the front door. And he's been gone a few minutes. Lex has been inside the building. Eventually,
What was all that about? Oh, sorry. I thought you
no, he
converged.
he does. He ducks his head under the lintel and he's back out in the street.
What was all that about?
well,
Oh, what is that?
I might have just burned my contact.
Oh,
Quite literally.
Did you find out where Nav could be?
I don't know where he could be, but I know who could help. This could be
Who?
difficult because now we need to speak to a particular wizard who
The
I
wizard
have
in
been
the hut?
advised.
The one that Logan said we should go to?
You mean the Tower Wizard?
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Right there.
Oh, Logan.
Logan
I'm
is
just
going to
imagining like a hobo wizard. He's sat there like eating mud. I'm a genius.
Logan is going to push himself off the wall, stand up fully straight, just literally bore his eyes into Lexvius and just be like, I enjoy the irony of being asked to trust by someone that does not trust me, and then he's just going to turn around and just walk out the alley. He's just going to go. He's off. He's
He's
bored.
such a drama queen.
He is a
Well, no
drama
one-
queen, yeah. He's also been really bored, just stood in this alley for like 5 minutes. Like,
Are we talking about Logan here or is this Andy?
obviously the character, guys.
As he's walking away, I'll say, "You'll have your answers, but there are bigger things at stake. We need to go."
You're
And I'm
right,
pretty sure you're going
Lex.
the wrong way. Is he going the wrong way?
I just point to the massive freaking tower that overlooks the city. Pretty certain it's this way. Just carries on going.
That's a good point. From where you are, would you be able to see it?
I hope so.
No.
Wise DM.
Otherwise, this
Tell him.
conversation just.
So that this, you've had, for the sake of kind of brevity, I said that you've been given the idea of where to get it as well as just the name of the wizard of the tower. But
Did ask for it.
where you should be able to see the tower, because it is on top of a cliff at the edge of the city that rises slightly to the north. Where you should be able to see the tower, it's like a heat haze, and from what you're looking at, there's nothing there. But you've been assured that that's the direction to go in.
Okay,
Let's go.
let's go.
oh yeah.
Doo-doo.
What was that?
Ooh, that was us going.
Just
Oh,
see you
there's some
start
little head
skipping
bubbles
down the
there.
road, you know.
It's scene transition music. Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through the city. You actually pass through the city's curtain wall, out into a dusty trail that kind of twists up into some high dunes, and then further up through some scrub. The heat is beating down on you. For those of you that are susceptible to such things, the heat is getting noticeably uncomfortable. And you keep climbing your way. It takes you a good hour to wind your way up this cliff face, through old tracks that don't seem to have seen a great deal of use. And as you crest the top of the cliff, you realise that there's two things. In the centre of the plateau, there's almost a small recession that's filled with shimmering water, with a plank bridge laid across it. There's a sparse kind of spread of cacti, jungle plants that just seem to break up in little clumps and clusters. And as soon as you kind of take 5 or 10 steps past the edge of the cliff, the heat haze kind of shimmers out of sight. And God knows how you couldn't see it before, but there is a huge stone tower of like ochre sandstone that rises a good 50, 60, 70, 80 feet into the air.
Guys, how come we didn't see this tower before? It's massive. I can't believe it.
I want to answer that question and see if I have the knowledge for why we haven't seen it.
Anyone can take an Arcana check for this if they think they'd know what was going on.
It's all checking.
21.
21.
This is,
It-
yeah.
It is clearly and demonstrably a very.
I just wanted to roll.
What did you get?
22.
Yeah!
What the
Yeah.
fuck? Wow. How that
Showed
work?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's done. Yeah, you both immediately recognise it as what is quite obviously very powerful, very adept use of illusion magic.
Cool.
Ooh,
Smoke
this is
and
clearly where the
mirrors.
magic man lives.
Smoke and mirrors, that's what it is.
So, looking across you're not very far away from it. The plateau is not a huge expanse of space, but the plank bridge that covers the small pond of water that's settled in the middle does lead to a flight of stairs that lead up to a doorway.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
One second, let me just put.
Yeah. I would like to look around.
Yeah.
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 What would you like to look for? Or where would
Danger.
you like to look? Look for danger.
Look for
Danger.
danger.
High
Scary.
voltage.
Any
Yeah.
any scary any creatures that are going to pop out at us, any traps, anything that's going to deter us from just wandering up to the tower.
Okay. Let's have a perception check on your behalf.
Okay, right. Oh my god, 20.
I mean,
So
if
excited.
you're worried, I could just knock on the door.
23.
Yay.
Okay.
Yes, 23.
So you do examine the surrounding area, which apart from the usual, tiny scuttling lizards that scamper away at your feet, none of which are carrying bronze or stone weapons, they're just lizards. A few seagulls that kind of startle from palm trees as you pass by. There doesn't seem to be any living creature moving around on this plateau. It seems, for all intents and purposes, totally abandoned.
Before we go in, everyone, I have been told to be courteous, nice, and I have been advised that we don't know how we're going to be received. But we know why we're here. Because a friend is missing. And I'll take a look at Logan and say, whatever you might think of me right now, I'm only doing this to find them. And I was willing to betray people to do it. But We have
Logan
to be
is just gonna
careful.
turn around and start walking over to the bridge. And he's like, I dislike wizards almost as much as I do sorcerers. And as he gets to the bridge, he's gonna get his hammer and he's just gonna poke the wood to make sure it's actually fucking wood.
Oh
And
God,
not
someone
some-
please take care of him. I can't.
And I'm just gonna stay clear because he's angry at sorcerers, so I'm just gonna hide.
Okay.
There's gonna be
It's-
some really a
is-
lot of misplaced anger here.
It is very hot, and it's been like a whole half hour since Logan had a drink. So yeah,
Was
he's
Logan ever hooked
Malice,
the child?
do you
I'll
have
stay
any?
out- I'll stay out. I'm not courteous or nice, so I'll stay out of there as well. I'm going to give him some of my special flask.
Were Malice or Logan ever hugged his children? Just out of curiosity. Did that ever happen
I
at
mean,
all?
if you had read my backstory, you would know that Logan was in fact an orphan. So
So
no.
yeah, he might have been hugged. You know, organs need love. Organs?
Organs.
Wow, that took a turn. Right.
Wow.
I hug a child
Oh.
and do a sleight of hand. I really need a new kidney.
Here's some Matt pitch for you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I'm gonna follow after him and stand next to him.
Like I'm annoyed, but I'm not like "Rah, rah, rah." I'm just like clearly irritated. rather than,
Archmage,
like-
bad. Could send
Is
us
that-
to the planes we never heard of. Please, please, be angry at me, not at them.
There's a token missing and it's Navs.
No, I know.
Oh.
No Narevek on this map.
Token map.
Or is it?
What is up? No,
What the fuck?
I think he's scared.
this is gonna
because
be
he thinks-
bad.
I think he's scared that because he thinks that map means battle.
Yeah, I know you.
Hang on.
Me?
Means
What am I
No.
doing?
We just got
Ah, not loading for me yet.
It is taking
Amazing.
its sweet
It's,
time.
You gotta,
That's
you gotta
because
reload
Yeah.
it F5.
It's quite a
It's
big
like-
map.
It is a
it's in
beautiful
the
map.
middle.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh.
That's about what you can see.
I like the small black square that's in the middle of this bush. What's in the middle of the bush, Scott? Yeah. Oh no, it's,
More
it's
bush.
What?
Not
Oh,
with the
that-
tar touch things.
it loaded up now, but for a minute.
I was trying
It's in the
desperately
middle
to
of the
hold-
bush.
I'm trying to hold my iPad in one hand. My laptop balanced precariously on my lap because rather than being on the table, I'm like sat on my bed. I'm trying to do it all so much and it's not working.
Oh.
There we go.
Doing a great
So,
job,
yeah.
buddy.
For the sake of illustration, that is what you can see as you crest the top of the plateau.
Sorry,
You can
what
see
plateau?
here
Can't see shit
a
yet.
large sealed doorway of very finely tooled dark wood that's inlaid with silver filigree, and one large circular, well, oval crystal pane
Ooh.
set in the front.
Posh boy.
Yeah, the stonework of the tower is not shoddy. It's not just been slapped together. It's masterful. It's very, very elegant. The wood that you have stomped over of the bridge, Logan, is absolutely solid.
Good to know.
It doesn't even creak underfoot as you walk over it. And as you hit it with your hammer, there's a satisfying solid thunk as it hits the wood.
I might just hit it one more time with my hammer just because it was so satisfying. No real
Yeah,
reason. Just
You do so, and again, no sign of anything being anything other than just a really well-made, well-tended for wooden bridge.
I just swing the hammer off on my shoulder and I sort of just walk down the bridge. Bit like I own it.
Dun, dun. There you go. You make your way onto the main thoroughfare.
Oh yeah.
I'll follow behind him. More cautiously. Specifically making sure that nothing zaps me.
You want to?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that.
You're checking for traps, are you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Nine.
9. You don't find anything.
I know. Yeah. I'm as we're walking up. I'm gonna, because I know they can see me by now. I'll just say greetings. I'm really sorry about the intrusion. but we need to speak to Archmage Zulula if possible. Zazula, I mean. Fuck. This is not going well.
Stifle my laugh and just like,
Mm-hmm.
And if Derek's there as well,
yeah, we're in trouble.
Derek and Zulula. That's weird.
Derek.
Wait,
My
what's their
name is
actual name? In
Zulula.
case I do it as well. I
You,
might
you
say
burn the
Zulu.
contacts with the merchants. I'll burn the contacts with the wizards. All good.
Selena
How-
gets the
names.
ambassadors for the new year.
Yes.
How do we actually pronounce her name quickly?
Yeah.
Zazula.
Zazula.
Zula. Okay.
My name
Zazula.
is
Right,
Zula.
got this.
Kalula.
Zalula.
I'm just gonna keep going. Can I just do the same thing with my hammer? Just test the stairs.
Yeah.
My hammer. Cool. Then I'm gonna walk up the stairs. Just walk up
Everyone's
the
so
stairs towards the door.
paranoid.
The next time you
Logan's
visit
not.
any
Logan's
of
just
our
like, fuck
houses,
it.
if you don't walk up the driveway tapping the floor, I'm going to be really suspicious.
Yeah, but
I'm
most
gonna
houses
walk up
aren't.
with him to the door.
I'm just gonna with my free hand. I'm just gonna knock firmly yet politely upon the door.
Okay.
Ooh, polite to knock.
You know.
I'm gonna follow him, but I'm gonna go around. away
Behind
from the bridge.
behind the thick pane of crystal that's set in the door, you see a movement. It's too thick to make out much detail, but you see that there's a movement there. And there's a dry, whispery voice that says, "State your business."
We're here to speak to Archmage Zuzula. We require assistance, and we're looking for help.
We will pay, is what my friend is forgetting to say.
Pay with what?
I'm sure we can come to an agreement.
Shiny hammers.
I don't have my fucking hammer, Manus.
There's just silence in response.
Gold?
Silence.
I don't think she liked her offer.
No pleasing you.
Honestly, some people.
What would you want in return for information?
Silence.
Tell you what.
You'd like. She'd like to be left alone after we get information.
I just knock on the door louder than last time. Tell you what, if you come out and talk to us, we'll go away.
Silence.
Right, well this looks like a lovely spot for a picnic. What do you reckon, guys? Music, singing, dancing? Malice, did you bring you brought the ale, didn't you? Good, right. One of you sorceress people, make me a bonfire. Big one. And I'm just gonna start setting up camp just on her front porch.
Just so that I
Yeah.
know, the tact that you're taking, here. Are you trying to bully the Archmage?
She wants to be left alone. Okay.
No problem.
We would
Okay.
like to talk to her, so I'm trying to propose
Okay.
that if she just comes out and talks to us, we'll leave.
I've got a different way of going about this.
Are you searching for a magic item or something that we can find for you?
And the door creaks open slightly. It just swings inwards on a single hinge, revealing the figure that you've been speaking to, which is very finely dressed in a perfectly tailored suit of black cloth, a white shirt, and a very smart black tie that is tied closely around its neck, a very smart black waistcoat, and a small gold chain linking its watch to its lapel. As your eyes travel further up, you notice a very, very thin neck, very thin vertebrae, and a skull at the skeletal servant that answers the door.
Logan is going to look, if possible, even more unhappy than he already did. Like, he's just reached new levels of unhappiness that you have not yet seen. He's even going to slightly hiss at this skeleton.
Oh, fuck, he's a cleric.
Yeah, he's a cleric. More importantly, he's a cleric of a god that believes it is your fate to die and stay dead.
Yeah,
Don't really
please keep that to yourself, thank you.
Yes,
None of that here.
On him.
Greetings, sir. Would it be possible for us to speak to Archmage Zazula?
Perhaps. Its jaw doesn't move when it speaks. The voice just whispers through its teeth. It steps backwards and sideways as if it's on rails and just stands motionless, side onto the door, and is no longer barring your path.
Logan's going to
Thank
step
you.
past it, but
Yeah.
as he does, he moves in a way that he's never got like his back or even his side to it. He's just literally circling it.
Okay?
I will
Yeah,
walk through.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
gonna
look
go
around.
Tell you what,
last.
place yourselves wherever you want to be. You should have
okay.
control of your chips.
Excellent.
Where I want to
I
be is in
will.
darkness.
Yeah, I still
Just
can't
For
see.
the sake of the
Oh
stream.
shit! Okay.
By the way, I
try
can see
refreshing your screen.
everything in the
Yeah.
room.
I will walk in and say thank you. Well, letting us in.
Reveal.
And refresh my proverbial screen, whatever that
Yeah,
means.
doing that as well.
Oh, nope.
Oh
not
yeah.
liking
Oh.
that. Oh.
Hello, sir. I'm not saying that's out of character.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Who?
He's
That
just suddenly
guy.
claims to become a
Ah,
really
there it
friendly
is.
social character.
Well,
Oh, where
that
am I?
large being there. Do I
You-
recognize what it is?
Absolutely. As you enter the base floor of the large circular tower,
Ah, yeah.
you notice a few different things. Firstly, it's very brightly lit. There are flickering braziers on each side of the doorway, but also at the base of two stairwells that you can see on the far side of the building, one going down, one going up. There are also 5 circular plinths of glowing white stone, each of which has a different rune inscribed on the floor in front of it. And to the left and right of you, with its back to the walls of this chamber, are 2 large, complicated-looking machinery creations that are almost made of curved blue crystal with intricate gold scrollwork all around it. Sat on the retaining wall of a huge, perfectly clear blue fountain that takes up almost half of the room are 2 figures. The first is of the familiar sight of a tall, grey-skinned, bald-headed creature in very rough spun robes that you recognise as the stone giant that Narvek had spoken to in the streets. And at the base of each stairwell is a similarly dressed skeletal servant, engaged in conversation with the giant, sitting on the wall of the pool, is a young human figure who can best be described by Danny.
So you're going to see he's also a very well dressed individual, very fine clothes, sort of linen shirt with a little leather jerkin over the top, thin leather jerkin over the top, in the colours of all green, edged with like a sort of coppery colour on the sims of each of the bits of the jacket. Long black hair tied back into a ponytail, clean shaven, and has a little hawk familiar that's perched on his shoulder.
Sorry.
As he's
Did you say a pork familiar?
hawk.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
Oh,
Yeah.
hawk.
absolutely, it was a pork familiar.
God,
You have a
I
rafter
love bacon.
of bacon
He
on
just
his
has a single thin cut slice of bacon that's just resting on his shoulder there.
Danny is cursed to never be allowed a dramatic moment in this
I'm
campaign.
really not. I'm really not. Like, I can't even introduce myself without someone cracking a fucking joke. That's my wizard.
Sausages.
There we go. There's a wizard. Why do I bother? Bye. Ending stream. See you later, guys. Campaign's over.
We'll make your nav.
Literally everyone's had a moment in this game so far. Everyone has had a game where there could be a serious moment. I've had a chance of 2, but all of you fuckers have ruined it for me.
Guys,
Technically, Lex ruined it.
so
Oh, God.
great again, very, very richly dressed young human male who's got a hawk perched on his shoulder. Yeah, the group of you kind of file into the tavern,
Alright.
into the tower, and
Well, I've got
The
two
both-
people who are definitely happy to hear that this is a tavern.
the giant looks alarmed, looks up very sharply at the sight of you. How does the human fellow react?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite unusual for you to hear me because I am speaking in giant to it.
Ah,
Because I do speak giant. This character,
Handy.
and I'm just kind of turns
Oh.
around. It's like, friends of yours. is what you hear from me, just going like, friends of yours.
yeah, and it looks quite alarmed. Says, "We have met. At least,
Oh, I'm smiling right now.
So Pathmaker is already in Logan's hand. His hammer is prepared, and he just starts striding across. His bullshit levels, he is just done. He's like, right, give me a
While
reason.
he's doing this, I'll
I
go.
should not send you to
please.
Voden right fucking now.
Easy,
Stop.
friend.
Start talking.
Easy, friend.
Greetings.
How about we start this with a civilized conversation before this gets out of hand?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that civilized people kidnapped people in the streets.
I just kind of like turn to him in giant. Just sort of, he claims you kidnapped his friend.
no, I agreed to meet his friend here."
He says he agreed to meet your friend here.
Why? Why here?
His eyes look wide. He takes a step backwards into the water. That doesn't even come up to his shins, but the gesture's there.
It's like, look, he's terrified.
Aw,
Just
scared boy.
just give him a chance to explain himself.
With the same smile and looking very delightful, I'll go, please continue.
Thank you. Explain. So you agreed to meet his friend, your friend. How long ago? How long ago was this?
So he talks to the human figure and says, it was not long ago. We were heading to a place to talk, and a look came over his face, over the small one's face. He said he had to leave. I told him I was coming here. This is where I have found shelter. And he agreed to meet me with the rest of his, and his eyes shoot over to the rest of the group, friends. They do not know me.
Right, I will talk to them. Just stay there and be calm. I repeat everything he just said to them. It's like, so it seems that your friend went missing after he spoke to him, not during. It was not his fault. My hands are stood out to everyone to make sure that they don't come too close to him.
And you trust him?
Can I inspect him to see if the wizard is lying? And can I also inspect the giant to see if he's lying?
Roll 2 insight checks for me.
Okay. Insight, there we go.
Did our friend say or mention
Uh,
anything about what he was doing?
Apparently not.
That's a 24 and a nat 20, so 27.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's insanity.
When he wants to find someone, he's really looking, isn't he?
I warn you, wizard. Right now, I know whether or not your grandparents have lied. Do not fuck with me.
Would you like to roll any form of deception check, or are you telling the truth as you talk?
I am 100% telling the truth as I talk.
You're getting
This is the big boy.
every read that you're getting off the human figure is that he's being entirely sincere in his translation. You're not an expert in giant body language, but from what you can see of the way the creature's eyes are darting from person to person, its general complete absence of any aggression, it doesn't appear to be telling you any lies either. He further explains the story through his human, the human that's interpreting with you. didn't speak more than 10 sentences to your small friend. It's ironic hearing Narevik described as small by anybody, but
Power clicked, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't exchange more than 10 sentences with your friend, but he offered to help me in a world and a city where I have known none. For many cycles I have been alone and adrift. The only kindness I have seen was in the master of this tower. He alone has shown an interest in my plight.
And is that you? I point at the wizard.
Goodness no, I'm just here as a guest, and to help translate to this poor creature.
It
Yeah,
would be
friend.
interesting to know that however long you have been at this tower, which I think we discussed had been a little while at this point, you've still yet to actually have an audience with the master of the tower.
yeah.
You've only been allowed on this level and the one level above, which is where you've been sleeping. There's a dormitory level, but yeah, you're still waiting for your audience with the master of the tower.
Yes, I've been here a little while. Helped fend off those pesky scaly beasts that came in to try and enter this place, though it was pointless because this archmage is very powerful. But yes, I've been here waiting for an audience, and when this poor creature came to the door, I offered to translate for him if he ever gets a meeting with the archmage herself.
You, I point at the giant, promised me you'll look after him, and he's missing. I don't know why, but we trusted you.
I did him no harm. This I
Oh, sorry.
no, go for it. It's all good. Again, I'm assuming this is all pretty much being translated in like real time.
I'm hoping so, because I can't speak.
Yeah,
giant.
I just didn't want to have to go.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
hoping
all the
that my,
time.
my facial expressions
We're
show
saving
him just
having to
how
repeat to be
unimpressed
fair
I
to
am.
all. He's doing this.
Yeah, anything that you say to him, I automatically translate. Anything he says back, I automatically translate.
I'm gonna walk up to you, Dan. Hello. My name's Nix.
Nix.
Hello. Thank you for helping us. But can you ask your friend, big man, if our friend said where he was going or mentioned anyone in particular before he left?
From the earlier conversations, he just said a look came over his face, and he said he was going to find his friend, which I can only assume is you, and that he would meet him back at the tower.
Did you say friend?
Can you ask
Friends.
him if he mentioned it? Can you ask him if he mentioned a name or anything at all?
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You're a smart. You're in very high runnings for the smartest person in the room, so you'd remember this stuff. And as the giant translates it, and you will have spoken to the giant over time as well. Over the course of the last few hours, he didn't mention anything particular. Just said that he had to find his friend, and wouldn't engage in any further conversation. He just single-mindedly left. When he agreed to meet the giant at this tower, his responses were very non-committal. They weren't much further than grunts.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And it's
for your
Nav,
help.
so it's Nav, so grunts pretty
Grunts
part
are
of the course anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, does that
But,
sound like normal for your friend?
No, that doesn't sound normal for him to just disappear.
But he was affected by some powerful magic shortly before he disappeared.
Oh,
If
Yeah,
I
it-
describe, would you be able to help us?
I'll certainly
I
try.
don't see anyone else here, and I don't know if I can get audience with the Archmage.
I would certainly try. Also, may I just say, I never expected to meet an actual elf in my life. I've been studying your people for a while. It's an honor to meet you. It really is. But I'll get to that later. Yes. Describe the magic. I'll see what I can dig up from my memory. I kind of get my little. You see him go into his little side pouch and pull out a journal that he's got, and sort of flick his fingers, and a little very ornate looking book kind of materializes on the thing next to him. His little spell book that he's got.
No, I tuck my hair behind my
Right.
ears.
I will describe the surroundings, the scorch marks. I will describe that the area was covered in soot. I will also. I understand after speaking to Celine, I might have. You told us about what you found in the when you did the Arcana check. What kind of magics? I will ask you to describe what kind of magics you sensed. Do you remember?
No.
I do, but I'm hoping that you told me about it because I do remember.
I think we can assume that you would have all shared this information
Okay.
while you were doing your
So
investigation.
there was lingering traces of conjuration, evocation, undertones of enchantment, and some abjuration. It was
I had
made
no
look
chance
or
of remembering
was fire magic of some kind.
Hmm.
We are assuming teleportation. The one witness there said that there was two people. One of them was our friend, and the other one is an unknown figure. There was a flash of fire, and they were gone. Does any of that sound familiar?
One moment. I'm going to go through my little journal, and also my spellbook, and see if I can, between the
put
two
away
of them,
my,
sort of see if anything clicks or if I've read anything about this before.
It's time for your first roll, friend. Arcana check. Let's see what we get.
Right.
You know
You
what?
guys
Because
are
you
good.
have multiple sources of information at your fingertips, let's say with advantage.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Ah,
Would it be?
Yay.
And Logan is towering over him to give him incentive.
20. And I just
20.
no 22. But I just
22.
I kind of look over at Logan. It's like you can try and be as imposing as you wish.
He is directly in front of you. Like
Oh.
if you're still sat down, you can't even see over his shield.
It's like
He is that close.
you may try and be imposing if you wish, friend, but it's not going to make me go any faster. So either step back or help. Which one is it?
I just look down at him like,
I'm standing up.
oh, I still look down at you.
Oh, I think you and I are gonna be best friends.
I literally just go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be imposing to you, little man. If you could just actually step to the side for me, and I just sort of push him with my hammer out of the way, just gently sort of gesture him out the way. I'm still staring at the giant. I don't trust him about as far as I could throw him. Which probably isn't that far.
That is your prerogative, I suppose. And then 22 max on the roll.
Excellent. Yeah, it doesn't take much for you to put the pieces together. You identify that the residual magical auras and the physical effects left in the vicinity would naturally only lead to the fact that there were multiple spells in effect. There was indeed evidence of a teleportation spell, evidence of a dominating enchantment over the mind of another living creature. But some of the stranger effects lead you to believe that one of only two things could have happened. Either the teleportation spell was twinned with the effects of a plane shift spell, or were fueled by some form of fire-based magical item. Without further evidence, it would be hard to decide which. But this would be your diagnosis of the situation.
So it seems that this teleportation was done whilst a mind-dominating spell was in effect. And it was either it would have to be some sort of fire-based magic that was used as well, but without seeing it for myself, or perhaps having some sort of residue that I could have picked up and examined into a bit more detail, I wouldn't be able to know. But a lot of spells were used in this. This was not an easy spell, and there's evidence of a plane shift as well,
so he's gone to a different plane.
quite possibly.
Yeah,
So
but-
if we took you to the site, could you know more about it?
How long ago has he been? How long ago did he go missing?
How long
today
did it
still?
take us to get here?
Yeah, is it today or is it yesterday?
Yeah, I'd say you're still within a day. It's been hours rather than days.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been a
A
few
few
hours.
hours.
Earlier today.
I don't know how much residue will be left over that'll be usable, but kind of looking back up the stairs, and I've been here a bloody week. I kind of walk over to one of the skeletons, just like write out a little note, like with the little quill and parchment I have. Just, would you please give this to the Archmage when she becomes available? And just tell her to contact me when she at her earliest convenience.
He takes the scroll from you and pops it into its eye hole.
Amazing. Sorry.
Love it.
Without a word, it turns
Boss.
on its heel and walks up the stairs straight away.
And I just kind of turn around and just go, and it's like, well, okay then, take me to your. And I go to the giant and just kind of go, in giant say to it, just like, I'm sure the Archmage will look after you eventually. You should be safe here for a while at least. Perhaps I'll see you again soon. And in the meantime,
Wait.
good luck.
Before we leave, could you please ask him what did he promise to help you with?
Giant friend, what did he
And
promise to help you with?
I will try to smooth out my expressions and get rid of the malice and the mistrust. I will genuinely try to ask that question.
Okay. We did not discuss anything other than an offer of help. He offered blindly, and I was glad to accept. We were to discuss the terms of such help in this place.
In ways, he was the kinder of all of us, or at least some of us, and I will aim that at myself. We have to find them, but when we come back, if you are still here and you need assistance, we will see what we can do.
It bows its head a couple of times, looking almost. Logan, can you roll an intimidation check for me?
Sure. I'm really bad at them. Yeah, 7. I'm really bad at intimidation.
You know what? Under the circumstances, roll intimidation check, but instead of adding your charisma, add strength to it. Because this isn't a this isn't a talking intimidation. This is a
No, is this just a straight strength check then?
So roll a nat 20 plus your strength
Basically, yeah.
modifier.
Oh,
So
okay,
basically
cool.
just a strength
Alright.
check, yeah.
Where is my strength? There it is. That's even worse. That's a 6.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, my rolls are just absolutely terrible. Fucker.
I will flex a little bit. next
He seems to be relaxing a little bit in response to the fact that the human figure in green is speaking up on his behalf and is interjecting between, himself and you. So he doesn't seem to be actively shitting a brick anymore, but he does seem very wary and nervous, and he kind of nods his thanks to Lex at the words, but says, "Friend Randir, will you return?"
Yes, I'll come back. Fear not.
Aww.
And it takes a couple of nervous steps. Seeing that Malice has approached the water as well, he kind of looks really nervous and edges towards where Lex is and steps out of the water on the far side of the pond. the fountain, even pond. Not this fucking lily pads in there.
I'm not gonna move away. I'll just stand there.
Okay.
Okay,
Right, well, take me to this wall and I'll see what I can do for you.
let's do this.
Walk out. I'm gonna.
Oh,
wave.
I'm gonna speak to one of the skeletons, and I will basically. I know they've seen it, but I'll say, I'm very thankful for you letting us in, and I'm very thankful for the help that we did manage to find here. Thank you, and we'll leave.
Okay. The
I'm gonna-
skeleton doesn't move.
I'm happy with that. That's fine. Actually, I'll make sure that Logan leaves, and then I'll leave.
Nix, what were you saying?
I'm just gonna wave bye to the stone giant and say, like, I know he can't understand me, but thank you.
That's what I was gonna do as well. I was
Child.
gonna say sorry. I hope you
It
get
seems so
help.
fucking wholesome. It's not even funny.
I feel bad. He seems so sweet now.
So his eyes
now.
his eyes haven't.
Yeah, well, at
left
first I
Randir,
couldn't
he
fucking trust him. He took Nav. I was like, what did you do?
his,
But no,
his
he's
eyes are
super-
literally just glued to Randir
Yeah.
as he leaves. Because Randir at this point, apart from Narevek, who's missing, Randir is probably like the only creature that he knows in this city.
Yeah.
And he just watches the green-clad figure just heading towards the door. As the two of you turn and wave, he doesn't know really any human habits, but he kind of holds his hand up and goes a couple of times, like
Aw.
he's trying to copy it
Bye.
before kind of looking nervous and slowly lowering himself down onto the side of the fountain.
Oh.
Bless him.
As we're walking back, I'm going to kind of like fall into step beside the elves, and just because it's like yes, if
Team
you-
good boys and team
Hang on.
bad boys.
I just,
You just stepped in between me and Celine.
no, I said stepped beside the elves.
I was like,
Nix immediately shanks him in the rib.
And I'm rolling another character. Okay.
I'm just so glad we've got someone like with book learning. There's some actual book learning around.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna, in Draconic, tell Celine, keep an eye on him and see if we can trust him.
And I'll say, okay, I will do.
1 second, let me just check something.
and I reply in Draconic and say,
Yes, I was so happy.
I said, you can trust me. Don't worry.
Thank you for confirming my suspicions.
And I'm just gonna look away like, oh god, and walk off.
And I'll keep going.
Lex is like that awkward tourist that tries to slag people off. When he's on holiday.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know they speak English.
Oh no, I was fully aware that he's probably can speak Draconic. That's why I said it. I wanted
You were
him to
testing
reply,
him.
honestly. Yeah, no, genuinely. I wanted to see if he replies.
And then as we were walking next to the elves, we just kind of just like, yeah, as I said earlier, so I never thought I'd actually meet any of you. I thought you'd all died out long ago.
Nah, we made it through.
there are still some of us around.
And then I say in Elvish, it's like, well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I
Goodness,
say,
you speak some
Oh,
language.
no, just go like that. I'm like, okay.
Logan says in perfect fucking Elvish, not a hint of an accent. Less flirting, more walking, and just pushes him along. Logan is tired. He is bored. He wants to fucking get this done. And he's
We were walking and talking, asshole.
And as I'm walking away in Abyssal, I'm just gonna under my breath say the one language I don't speak.
You're the only one who can speak Elvish.
And I reply in, no, I don't.
I'll just look at him and like, well. How about that one? Do you know that one?
Not yet, but I'm studying.
I'm so glad that you guys are away from a city because you're walking along going, and then he starts seeing fucking demon like.
Logan's just gonna shoot daggers at fucking Lex. Like, don't.
Shit, I forgot.
Test me. He's gonna say, and
Demon
Logan,
around the holy
Logan
man.
is-
It's all good.
There is like
Logan
a
is-
Lex meter that he has, and it's slowly going down bit by bit every time I open my mouth.
Logan's Lex battery is running down like this.
Logan is just walking along swearing in frickin' Celestial, the language of the fucking gods, and he's literally saying, "These guys are a bunch of fucking wankers, and I hate them all."
Wait a second, do I understand you? I think I do.
I certainly
Oh
do.
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I say, you know I understand you, right?
I love it so much. And
I don't mind, swear away, do what you gotta
Yeah.
do.
Randy just kind of just goes, well, I never thought I'd hear the language of the gods spoken in that way.
Oh, shut up, nerd. Still in Celestial. Still in
Wait, can you
Celestial.
speak Celestial too?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I can't believe we're using sacred jock language.
Wait, then I've just got Halfling, which I don't know who else speaks
I
that.
don't speak half.
No one.
Oh, half
unique.
I would guess.
I'm gonna try now swearing in Dwarfish and hoping no one can understand me in that.
Oh my god. Can we stop this? You all speak different languages, alright? Randy is the best, you all suck at the
So
Anyway,
competitive.
yeah, when we get to the
Logan
wall,
is just jealous because Randy's got the elves on his shoulder.
Okay. So
I just wanted to
as
have
we're
a.
walking,
I just wanted to like catch up with them. I've been studying them for years, and never thought I'd actually get the chance to meet them, let alone 3.
I've
Oh, I
got
was
Yeah.
gonna say, is he not smooching up to Malice?
No,
I'm honest, a bit harder
I'm
to
fed
stop
up with
because
this
he's
sword.
like hooded and brooding and like
And
quiet at the
drunk.
back.
I'm just gonna quietly mutter to myself. Does he mean elves or women? That's just.
I did specifically say elves.
But he also said you 3.
Well, I'm just gonna look.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at Malice. I'm gonna look at Malice. I'm gonna look at Lex. I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow and be like, from behind, quite slender. You know, I don't know how good his eyesight is.
Okay. Malice, can you roll a perception check for me?
Oh God.
Oh,
Malice traditionally rolls about 50 for everything that he rolls.
Yeah,
So
he does. Yeah, 19. Yeah, wow.
this is now canon. You have just noticed Logan checking out your ass.
It's only
I'm
gay.
not sure I'm happy about this, to be fair.
That's what you get for being a dick,
Can I pull up my rapiers?
Logan. Although Malice is a sailor, he might enjoy it.
Not sure about that.
Logan's
Not
just
like
gonna
that.
get it.
I'm gonna continue walking very quietly and not talk.
Yeah, I was going to try and get some bit of RP in there, but fuck it, that's all been ruined by the fact that we've had some guy try and curse in every single language that he knows. So let's just get to the wall.
Oh, cursing more.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, you are not enjoying this, are you?
Logan is not
Right.
enjoying it. It's very hot.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm wondering, was there an explanation about what was going on with the hand, like properly, or
not yet.
did we? Yeah, okay. I was just wondering
Okay.
about that.
You guys found out like it was
By all
necromancy,
means, he
like
could
magic, but
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have an
I need to
expert
prep
next to you.
something. So, can we take a short break?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Let us know when we're. Yeah. Are we off?
We will be in a minute. Chat. We're back in about 5 minutes or so. So bear with us. And where's my BRB? There it is. And Alrighty, we are back for part 2 of our current adventure.
Okay. So as you exit Zuzula's tower, the door clicks shut behind you, and you make your way back across the plateau, shoving each other like school kids. You're like a rowdy bunch on a school excursion, heading across the dusty top of this cliff top plateau, and you start making your way back towards the city proper. Where are you headed? What would you like to do?
Well, I promised to help them find the wall and see what I could discover from it. So, unless any of you have anything you want to do on the way there?
No, I
Just
think we
that.
should go straight to the wall,
Yeah, same.
straight to the docks. Or
Yeah.
whatever it was. Yeah.
Okay, so you make your way through the streets without any deviation, without getting distracted, which is a Herculean effort for you guys because it is like herding cats. And you do make your way back towards the familiar dockside. As you get there, two of the familiar guards, the dwarf and the woman that you met last time, are still in place, but there are two deckhands that are scrubbing at the wall as you approach.
Well, that's going to cause an issue.
Wait, stop.
Excuse me.
They pause. What? Huh?
Yeah.
How long have you been at that for, if you don't mind me asking?
Last few minutes, half an hour, maybe max. You see that they've hardly made a dent in it, and
Oh.
even where they're scrubbing, it's not coming away.
Right.
It's like the marks are scorched
Let
deep
me
into the
just-
stone rather than just being a sooty deposit.
Let me just check my inventory real quick. I want to make sure I can actually do this rather than, metagame the shit out of this.
If you need any help or any assistance from myself or the other sorcerer, please let us know, and we will do anything and everything you tell us to
Does anyone
for a
have...
certain advantageous position of.
I'll see what I can do. Anyone have any empty vials or anything like that on them, on their persons?
There's over a bottle of
I'll
empty
have a
ale.
look.
That'll do.
An empty health potion?
No, empty ale. So
Empty
yeah,
ale.
health potion.
I'm sure this is your version of a health potion, big man. And I'll just kind of
Starting to like him.
I'll just get out my little knife and I'll pour some of my water in it just to give it a bit of a swirl, and then chuck it, and then I'll just scrape a little bit of debris from the wall into the bottle.
Okay.
And then because I've been in this town for about a week or so, would I know if there's anywhere I could go to take this that I could use to like a...
I'd say that you'd know. Yeah, you'd have a rough idea. You've had enough time in the town, even before the lizard folk attack, that you've got your bearings. And you are you're not thick. You're very sharp at figuring stuff out. You'll be able to know, the right districts, the right streets that will have roughly what you're after. It might take a bit of noodling around when you're there to get the specifics, but you know roughly the right area.
Okay, I think I know a place where I can go and do some research with this. It may take some time, so I don't know if there's a place you'd want to go and I can meet you there later. I'm going to take a wild guess where you wish to go. I don't know you that well, but I've already heard you. I've seen you swinging from that little bottle of yours.
I don't particularly want the group to separate.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's never worked out for us.
As much as I
separating.
would love to go to a magic shop, that is not something that I will do.
Can we come with you while you
By all
investigate it?
By all means. I just know that it's probably not going to be of much interest to some of you here. But by all means, you're welcome to accompany me.
If anyone else
Thank
wants to
you.
go somewhere else, by all means, go for it. I'm going to make sure that he is safe while he's doing this.
Appreciate
Where
that.
Yeah,
are you
I'm
going?
interested to see what the process is. I want to know.
Then by all means. There is a few districts we can go to ask around to see if there's any workshops. Haven't really had much time in the town to make any contacts, but I'll see if there's some. I should be able to worm my way into somewhere.
If we swing by a magic shop, if you need to go into one, that would be grand.
Yeah, because I'm going to guess that I'm probably going to need some components to do this research.
Yeah, I mean, what are you planning?
So
What's a
my-
rough shape of what you're planning
So
to do?
my rough plan is, and like again, forgive me because I haven't played these characters really that much
Yeah.
in this regard.
You're also not a real life wizard, so I don't expect you to know
Imagine so.
everything about it.
Wait, he's
But,
not a real life wizard.
Shut. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, so I'm planning to sort of because this has been like physically touched by the magic, and I've got a rough idea of what it was, obviously from the descriptions I've been given. I just want to see if I can maybe break this stuff down to see if it gives me any more sort of clue or hint as to what kind of, because obviously they said about that there's that fire element side of it that I don't really know that much about. So I want to see if I can maybe delve more into that using these.
Yeah, the hardest thing that you couldn't really decide was whether the magic itself was involving like flame-based magic, or if it was just being empowered by a magical item that was using the power of
Yeah.
flame.
So, like, just to save a bit of time, like, do you think I would be able to find out more?
Yeah, the reagents won't be a problem. It would take you some time to find someone that could let you, but then again, any reasonably equipped alchemist's lab would be able to help you with that. And although this is a bit of a ramshackle city, there are still plenty of people, you know, making potions, making chemical substances that are required. So you could find that. It might take you a bit of time, but you could find that.
All right, then that's what I want to do. I want to find the most suitably equipped alchemist shop that I could use to do this, and then I'll try and negotiate using their shop to
Cool.
do this.
So let's have an investigation check from you first of all.
Okay. It's not fantastic. That's a straight 15.
15. Yeah, that's enough. I'd say it takes you just under an hour
Okay.
to be able to locate the right type of purveyor here.
And was everyone travelling with us, or is it, or did some of the party want to go somewhere
Yeah,
else?
it's an odd
Yeah.
troop that piles into this one alchemist shop. Which, as you troop across, again, Scott gets his notes out because he wasn't expecting you to go to an alchemist shop. We've turned into CSI John Joe's Ruby.
I'll just so as while you're looking for your notes, and I'll just kind of like as we're outside, I'll just go to the it's like, now obviously we all know what works well in this town. It's like, but if they're still getting a bit if they're still getting some pushback, I kind of look at Logan and just go, think I could rely on you to lean your muscle in a little bit if the talking in the gold doesn't work.
I'm just disappointed we're not starting with that.
Well, I find in these situations it's best to start with a bit of finesse and bribery. If that doesn't work, then you bring in the muscle, especially in towns like this.
They fight back less if they're already unconscious.
That is also true. But I don't expect much of a pushback from the alchemist shop, but you never know in towns like this also.
Okay, so you managed to find a small alchemist's lab, which is tucked into. It looks like it used to be a very small bridge over what was a natural like culvert in the city, but over time the houses have just built up on each side of it, and the bridge has been bricked up on one side and a wooden facade built on the other. So what would have been the arch of the bridge is now this dank little laboratory that's been kind of built into place, and it's called Bamworks Potion Crafts. And it's the front door is just hanging at an angle. It's very rough, and there's a very pungent kind of sulphury. For those of us not in the know, sulphur smells like farts. It's a farty smell as you kind of approach the door, and you can hear like the clinking of metal, the jangle of glass, and you can hear faint hissing noises coming from inside. It seems to be like a little hive of activity.
Okay. I suppose we all go in, and then if there's anything anyone wants to buy while we're here, whilst I'm doing all this, we can do that.
Think I actually need to go in there. Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. I've got a couple of spells that require components.
You can tell me if you have. I literally haven't memorized.
Oh no, fair. Okay, yeah, I've got
You
I've got like
tell me if there's
3
stuff you want.
spells that require components. Do I actually need to purchase them?
With components and spells, you only need to buy. If you've got an arcane focus or a component pouch, you assume to have everything you need, unless each spell specifically says, 50 golds worth of diamond or a a gold jug shaped like a tongue, or whatever stupid odd shit they say in there.
Petrified
There's
eye
some-
of a newt.
Yeah, does it have a gold value next to it? No.
Bat
So
fur and drop
the
of
only
pitch and
specific
whatnot.
stuff that you need to get, like as an example,
No.
like resurrection, you need like diamonds worth, I don't know, 1,000 gold or some shit. You'd need to get £1,000 worth of 1,000 gold's worth of diamonds, otherwise you can't cast it. If it just says
Wow.
like sprig of mistletoe, that's considered to be enough for your arcane focus or your
Do I
component.
imagine
cards.
that I have this pouch? Because I don't have it in my
Yeah.
inventory.
Your Oblivion Shard acts as your arcane focus, and that takes care of all that stuff. Like Logan's
Okay.
holy symbol takes care of it. I think Randy has got an orb.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
one.
and his family crest works as his arcane focus as well, which is also a bit of a cheat because it means you get to keep your hands free.
So to be clear, if I have an arcane focus, I don't need to worry about the components, or I do need to worry about the components if they've
You
got a
don't
gold
need to
value.
worry about components. However, something that we've kind of breezed over so far, but as we're having a small conversation about rules, I'll just bring it up now. When you've got a weapon in one hand and a shield in the other, you can't actually cast any spells unless you either have Warcaster as a feat or you put your weapon away. You got Warcaster. Good.
Waving enthusiastically. Why do you think I went variant human?
You're a good
Used defeat.
You're a good boy, Logan, and because it's a lot to track, and I tend to forget to tell people to do that shit. So I'm really...
I already took Warpack.
Lex, do you want to ask a question?
Yeah. What if I want a magical weapon?
You can find a magical weapon, and one of the features of your Oblivion Shard, if you read the item that I made for it on D&D Beyond, is that it can be attached to a weapon or a piece of jewellery. Because I am a kind and loving God, I do these things for you.
Of course it does. I love you so much,
For your quality
you have
of
no idea
life.
how much it hurt my brain over the last 6 days to figure this out. You are fantastic.
I'm a kind and
I'm
loving...
gonna let them do what they need to do, and I will
Okay.
find a wand at some point.
So you push the door open, which it's alarming. It feels like it's going to fall off. You know, you're almost cautious. Yeah, this Randy is like, oh my. As he goes through there, it's a nasty, like made out of pallet wood. It's gross. Pushes it through, and the inside is a smoky, densely packed with furniture and crates and loads of just junk all over the place. And the air inside is like, I don't know if any of you, because I'm an old and uncool guy, remember going into a pub before the smoking ban came in?
Yeah.
It's like that. You can't see
Oh,
across
yeah.
the other side of the room, even though the room is only as wide as the bridge.
Before I enter, then I kind of like go to my little hawk friend on my shoulder and like telepathically say to him, it's like, no need for you to have to suffer this, and just go stretch your wings for a bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Little hawk boy flies into the air.
Horace is his name.
Horace,
Oh my god, I love that.
Horace takes to the wing, and he's off into the clear blue skies above you. Meanwhile, you duck into this dingy shithole under the bridge. And, you can just see through the fog of fumes and smoke that the far wall is covered with this bizarre conglomeration of metal jars, pipes, tubes, anything that seems like it's made of any kind of glass. Brown glass. At one point, even one of them resembles like an upside-down beer bottle with the bottom cut off and a wire stuck in the top. It's this really strange concoction of weird odds and ends that have been used and wired together that are all bubbling with various liquids and jets of steam that keep gurping out of it. And squatting down in front of it is a small green-skinned creature with large flapping ears that's about as high as your knee. It's a tiny little hunchbacked creature. It's not Baby Yoda, I've just realised how it sounded. He's wearing like a filthy brown tunic that's covered in like sweat rings under his arms, and he's got no hair, little bald pate on top of his head. And he kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, "Hang on a minute, just wait a second."
Take all
There's a few
the
more
time
things.
you need. I just realised something else I was going to ask as well that I should have done.
Go for it.
It might pop up after I've done my investigation. But do you reckon there's also a way I could find out if I could track this magic?
Ooh, that's going to be challenging. You can certainly try.
Cool, noted. So I'll see if I can discover it first, and then I'll work from there.
So he eventually finishes whatever he's faffing around with, turns around and goes, God's blood, there's a lot of you. Just, I don't know, just try not to knock anything over. I'm not sure, some of it's flammable. I can't remember which. And he turns around, it's a small, hunched, ancient-looking goblin. He's got spectacles on with one large lens and one little lens that don't seem to match. And he's kind of twitching them around on this immense hooked nose. Yes? What do you want? Yes?
Well, I'm hoping I can make use of your alchemy tools here, because I wish to discover what sort of magic was used in this little contraption here.
He doesn't even answer, he just grabs for the bottle, but he can't reach. So he's like snapping his fingers.
I'll keep hold of this, thank you.
He's still got his hand out. And he's like, you know much about alchemy, do you?
Well, I know a fair bit. I've done a bit in my time. I'm sure we can come to some arrangement, and I start like twiddling a gold piece between my fingers.
He kind of starts licking his lips almost. He's like almost hungrily. He says, yeah, I'm sure we could do something. One thing. If you break it, you buy it.
That sounds fair. And flick him the coin.
It snatches it on its way up. It doesn't even wait for it to fall. He kind of hops up into the air, grabs the coin, and it's like disappeared about his person before he hits the ground.
Now, where can I work?
Okay. Golden hour.
How about 50 silver pieces an hour?
Roll a persuasion check for me.
What is my persuasion, actually? That's not terrible. That roll is, though. That's a 9.
9. It was a DC 8 because he's incredibly easy to bribe. Deal. Spits on his hand and holds it up to you.
Wow,
Okay.
you have a lot of spit, don't you?
I'm gonna walk past him and prestidigitate his hand as I walk by.
Thank you. I say under my breath. Under my breath.
So the little goblin kind of huts his clothes and goes, well, my name is Bam. This is Bamworks Potion Drop. You can help yourself to the facilities at the rear of the building. Anything you break, you will, of course, pay for, or break your legs. And he shuffles off into a corner. There's nowhere for him to go, so he just hoiks himself up onto a barrel and just sits there, like, twiddling his feet, watching you.
Very well. I will see you, lovely people, momentarily. And unless you want to come, I think you said, Celine, you wanted to watch the process, didn't you?
Yeah.
I want to see, does he only
wonder what
sell
happened.
potions?
Yeah, this is potions, reagents, and alchemical supplies.
Oh, I'm gonna ask him, how much is a health potion?
Let's come back to that. Let's circle back around to the shopping lead. So as you approach
I want to know if we're gonna rip off.
Randy steps forward and he's got Celine on his shoulder looking at what they're going to do. And this is a very, very non-standard alchemical setup. It's beyond homebrew. It's halfway between a moonshine still and a high school chemistry lab.
I look at Celine and say, well, I'd like to say I've worked with worse, but I really haven't. And I go to work.
So as you go to work, we're going to try and identify... What are you trying to identify from the little sample?
I want to know if this was flame-based magic or if it was an item of some kind used to make the fire, if that makes sense. So if this was like natural fire, or if it was fire created by a magical item of some kind.
Excellent. Okay. So let's have let's say a straight intelligence check.
It's going to be...
We'll say at advantage because Celine's there to help you. She's looking over your shoulder and
Thank fuck for that,
asking
'cause
helpful
that was...
questions and
Thank
whatnot.
fuck for that, because that was terrible. That was much better. Thank you, Celine.
Welcome.
That is a dirty 20. The first roll, the first roll was a
Yeah.
9.
You try adding various reagents to the little sample that you've got. trying to identify from the reactions whether this is a normal physical process or if any of the more esoteric elements are reacting to the chemicals you're putting in. You nearly blow it, because at one point you reach for what you think is going to be just pure H2O before Celine kind of brushes aside a gust of smoke and it says H2O2. Oh shit, that was nearly the wrong thing. Put it in. I don't know what H2O2 is. I don't know chemistry. I've just made up a number.
It says so too.
Oh, thank you.
An
But,
H2O2 poison.
I have no idea.
I think it is.
thank you. Let's just put that to one side and pretend I never ever touched that. How about that?
Yeah.
It
Leave that
explodes
be.
a lot.
You add a couple of drops into your little sample, and it does start to give off like a faint orange gas that is contained within the bottle, but swirls around. And yeah, in your experience and from everything that you've read on the subject, this is an emanation that is given from the use of augmentative magical items. It's items that are used to either boost a sorceress effect or to replicate them. This leads you to believe that whatever teleported them away wasn't in fact a plane shift, but it would have been like the magical effects of the side effects of a magical item that's managed to teleport your friends away.
Well, that answers that question. Well, the good news is he's not on a different plane. I'll say to Celine.
Oh, thank God for
Because
that.
obviously you're the only one in here, aren't you? So it's like,
Yeah.
And it seems that it was used by some sort of magical item, augmentated. Did you say?
Yeah, it's like an augmentation.
Augmentation. Sorry.
That boosts the effect
So
of a
it's
spell.
a bit like and I pull out my orb, and so a bit like my orb. It's a augmentation device to help boost the spell. So whoever this person is has a lot of resources at their disposal. I can try. There are ways of tracking this, but I'm not going to find in this place. That's for sure.
What do you need for it?
I will need some time to study, and I need to look at some old books or a library, see if there's any ways of doing it. Just to be sure, I'm not 100% certain. I've never had to do anything like this before, but there's always information out there. I just need to try and find it.
I think Nyx mentioned a library a few days ago she wanted to go to. That was in the town.
Oh.
So maybe we could go there.
Maybe so. I'll go talk to her. Well, why wait? Let's go. So we'll just come out and I'll pass that on to the rest of the party about the fact it's not a plane shift. It was augmentated magic, therefore still here on this plane, but not sure where. But there are ways of finding out. But that will take further time, and I don't know how much longer you're willing to wait around for, or unless you have an idea where he might be.
I have an idea. It is my limited understanding that when an object is cursed, if someone binds to that cursed object, there is some kind of magical tether between the two. Is that correct?
Is that correct, Scott?
That's a process that's known as attunement. It's certain powerful items will only perform their acts in the hands of one person at a time that is bound to them. You, for example, are currently attuned to your family crest ring, and I believe that Logan is attuned to Pathfinder, his immense, unsubtle shield.
Yes, I am. But Naverick is tuned to this. So I just fling off the hammer and I just hand it to him because I'm entirely unaware of the fact that a giant axe might be a little heavy for a wizard.
Yes.
Can you track this?
Yes. I can't hold it though. So can we get some? Please don't. I can.
Logan just looks confused.
Do I
I'll
look?
just clear off the side so you can put it down.
Don't touch
There you
anything.
No, I didn't touch the poison one. It's fine. That's up on the shelf.
Okay.
I'll just hold on to this.
Yes. Let's get.
Just
How
sling it back around my
about we go? How about we go somewhere that isn't likely to blow up the minute we touch something?
Nah, fine.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I just don't ask. Let's just leave. I paid. How long would you say that would have taken me to do?
Roll a D3.
D3. D3. We have D3s.
How many hours? Yeah. Oh.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a
You have a
D6. 1 or
D3.
2 is 1,
Oh,
3 or
right.
4 is 2, 5 or 6 is 3.
I got a 4, so
So that's 2. That is 2 half. That's 2 hours. So 1 gold as a total.
1 gold is the total.
Look, a D3,
Oh my god. Oh my
and it's an
god.
anchor.
Minus, so 2 gold total plus the 3 that I,
damn it.
plus the 1 I already gave him. So that's 3 gold.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank
Bargain.
you very much. Thank you for your services,
I was
and
gonna
let's
want
get
to
this
ask him
back
about
out
the
of here.
price of the help. Oh, sorry, what are you saying?
Sorry, I was just saying to the goblin, so thank you very much for your service, for allowing me, and yes, I believe my friends have some questions for you.
Anytime. Return whenever you want. Yeah, what do you want? Looks up at Lex. You want a question?
Oh yes. Is are potions the only thing that you sell? Is it?
I sell potions. I sell acids. I sell ingredients. I sell
Reagent.
glassware.
But not weapons, magical weapons in particular.
Don't know. You can throw acid at people. That's a weapon.
I never thought of that. It really is, isn't it?
He taps his long nose like knowingly, like yeah.
That is actually very clever. Thank you. You wouldn't know who might be selling magical weapons.
I mean, it's not exactly the type of thing you can find everywhere. They're not that common. Somebody in the bazaar might have some. I don't know.
Fair enough. I will ask around. Thank you for your assistance.
While Lexius was chatting to the goblin, I want to have kind of took Celine by her arm and just kind of hurried her away quietly, just to when no one else can see us, just for 5 minutes.
Oh, good, because I wanted to ask you something as well. I was about to ask the same thing.
We're gonna speak in Elvish. Celine, can you show me your wand?
Yeah, sure. I grab it out and pass it to you. Here you go. You were thinking about the shards as well.
Yeah, Scott, what does her wand look like?
Actually, if you have a look at the item I created for it on D&D Beyond, there is a description of it. Hey, it's almost like I did this shit on purpose.
It is. Hang on, then I just need to open up Celine's
Here we go.
Yeah, it's in your inventory.
Metallic plates in the pattern of reptilian scales of unblemished gold. At the tip is a clear, transparent crystal cut into angular facets from which it projects. Oh my god, that was a hard word. Scintillating bolts of sparkling golden force. Beyond its appearance, the wand's provenance and nature is unknown, since it was plucked from the corpse of a robed figure beneath the streets of John Joe's Ruby.
I'm gonna look at take particular notice of the orb at the wand. Scott, could I think that this is a shard of oblivion, maybe?
You could think it.
Can we investigate that somehow?
Yeah, by all means. Roll. Whoever wants to take the lead on it can roll either an investigation or an arcana. Actually, there's going to be an arcana check.
Okay. I will.
And
go
then
ahead and
you can have advantage because there's 2 of you. So whoever doesn't do the check can help.
Okay.
I'll take a look as I've asked to see the wand. So.
Yeah.
15 or 22. 22, please, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done.
You rolled a really good check last time when you were trying to see how Lex's crystal vault worked as well.
Yeah, I did.
There are definite similarities to the cut faces. It's hard to make out a very in-depth look at what the far side of the gem is because it's clasped inside the mounting on the wand. The golden kind of dragon claw that's holding it in place obscures the bottom half of the gem. But there is a definite similarity to the facets that are cut into the clear crystal on top of the wand, as you've seen on the faces of Lexius' shard.
Okay. Celine, I think this might be something that we've been looking for, but I don't think we should let everyone know until we know what it does and what they do when they're put together. Don't show your wand to anyone else for now.
I was thinking the same thing. I
Yeah.
didn't want to show it too early.
Yeah. So let's keep that between us.
Okay.
And then we just wander back to the group.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
And if I give you a silver coin, would you be able to point me in the direction of someone who can sell me a magic weapon?
Oh, the main bazaar, I can tell you the way, but it's not really my forte, friend. But that would be my best guess.
Still, thank you. And I'll pass him the coin.
Excellent. He takes it gratefully and he gives you directions to the bazaar.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I know you don't like all splitting up, especially after your.
Sorry, I didn't mean silver. I meant... Wait, which one is cheaper?
So it's 10 silver to make a gold. So if you just take off 1 gold and add 9 silver into your silver book.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nah, I'm glad I was not following at all what we were talking about. I had no idea.
Yes, thank you. Done.
Right. Yeah, so I know you don't like splitting up after what happened to your friend. I do understand that. But now that you're pointing at Logan, so now that you told me you have a magical item of his that might help track. But just in case, I want to know if there's any magics we can use to track the actual spell itself. Celine told me Nyx, is it? You were planning on visiting a library around here somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but I was hoping to find a library to find out some information myself.
Okay.
I'm happy to give you some company to a library.
Well, I was going to say, I look at the two sorcerers and say, you're obviously learned people yourselves. Perhaps between the three of you, if you went to this library and tried to find something on tracking magic of some kind, I can go with these two fine gentlemen somewhere quiet, and I can see if I can do something with the cursed item myself. And if that doesn't work, we can fall back to the tracking magic from the library.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Do you mind if we three make a detour at the bazaar?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Do you want to go before or after the library?
Either way.
Yeah,
You've
it
got the
doesn't really
money,
matter.
so either way.
Oh, I don't. Celine has
Yeah,
the money.
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'll just look to Logan and Malice and say, is there any way we can go that you're quiet to do this?
I'm gonna just look at Malice and be like, pub?
Go to the guppy.
Yeah.
Go to the guppy. That'd be nice and quiet.
Wait,
Yeah, pub
wait,
guppy, yeah.
wait, did you say the guppy?
The guppy.
Wait, are you
Oh, little
the
face.
group that
We're the vengeful guppies.
I'm gonna make a pose. I'll like
Yeah,
flex
we
my muscles.
helped during the lizard folk raid.
My goodness, I don't know why I didn't catch on to that earlier. I've heard a lot about it. It's a double pleasure to meet you all then. Did anyone bother to ask my name, by the way?
The giant mentioned your name.
That none of them speak.
And we heard it nice
But I
and
don't
clear.
think any
Yeah.
of them speak
When
giant.
When I introduced myself to you, I thought you were going to tell me your name, but you just didn't. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so I was
Oh, I know your
I was a
name.
bit blown away by the elves and the fact the giant and having to translate for a giant. So I was just like,
I missed that as
No,
well,
no
to be honest. I was,
And
I went, hi, I'm Nyx. And then it was just, okay.
thousands of apologies.
No, it's fine. It was funny.
Yeah, it's like my name's Randir, by the way. I already know Nyx and Celine, obviously. I believe someone called you Lexvius.
Lexius Conway at your service.
I know Logan. He's the one that all of you were shouting at on the way up here. Didn't catch your name.
sorry.
Dark and mysterious in the back there. Matt, pleasure to meet you. Wow. Okay, well, in that case, I'm more than happy to help even more now. So, to the guppy then, I suppose, for us.
Before we leave, I have a question for you. You seem to be a man of knowledge. How much do you know about magical items?
I know my fair share. I've done my fair share of studying on them. Is there anything particular you wanted to
I
ask?
am looking to purchase a magical weapon, a wand.
Around here?
But I'm
really?
looking anywhere, absolutely anywhere.
Well,
What sort of wands are you aware of? I'm rather new to magical weapons. I'm more used to daggers.
there are many.
myself.
there are many in the world. It depends what sort of level of magic you're wanting from them, really. Are you thinking more of as a focus, or for an actual, or something that has like a certain amount of, that holds a certain amount of magic?
I am not sure. You know what? I think you're probably the wrong person for me to ask.
I think you're going to a library anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe you should do some research on it.
I can do the research. You are a gentleman. Thank you.
But if I do come across anything in my notes, I'll be sure to let you know.
Thank you.
Cool. Before we split up, let's give each group a sending stone thing that we picked up. Just in case.
It's almost like there was a reason you bought it.
So I will. I don't know who had them, but I will give one of them to Logan, and then I will hold on to the one for us three.
Awesome.
Okay. I suppose we'll meet you back in your guppy, I imagine.
Yeah. We'll come find you when we're done.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So you separate into your respective groups and make your way through the town. One towards the guppy for beer and chill. One towards the library to do some actual work. And some towards the shops on the way. Because I just don't have it in me to do another shopping episode after last time, I'm going to suggest that we maybe knock it on the head there for this session before we start breaking out.
Okay, fair enough.
A suitably pirated.
There is a particular item I'm after, but I don't want to metagame. I just wanted to see what they had, but yeah, we can skip that. I don't think there's going to be much in this place.
If you're going to go digging through a pirate library, I'm going to need to actually get some shit ready for you to find. That's a lot of information.
To the pub.
I don't want to wing it on the off chance that you ask me a question that's important. So we'll make up some significant pirate related stuff for you to know next time.
Yeah,
and that's
and I'm
almost
happy
3
to
hours
send-
on the dot. So that's not bad for a sesh.
No.
Cool. I will send you like a little list of things that I want to look up so you can prepare relevant info, or not if it's not there. But
Yeah, to be fair, everybody,
Keep
if
it
there's
all
stuff
fair.
that you'll want to go looking for in the next session, because we seem to be getting ready to do a combination of research, shopping, magical rituals to track things. If there's stuff you want to attempt that you know about, obviously not. You can do more than this if you think of it on the spot. But if you do know you're going to try something in advance, let me know over the next week or so.
Alrighty.
Okay.
cool.
Thanks,
Will do.
guys.
Wicked.
And chat. Thank you for those of you who've been sticking with us. We'll be back next week, either Sunday or Monday, depending on Scott's schedule. And let's see what we uncover as this has now seems to become CSI Guppy.
Dun-dun.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
We're going to need to stab something next time. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Speak soon, guys.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.